What is going on, Crisis Actors? It is episode 982 of Pop Culture Crisis. That sound you heard behind me is, of course, the wind is out in full force today. My name is Brett. I am here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. You probably didn't notice because it's extremely underwhelming, but I did put up a background of some sort here behind me. They've got some lights, some curtains. It's kind of diffused, but it still needs some color, so still a work in progress. Just want to pat myself on the back for that because I swear I took these lights out of a box and was just detangling them one by one for close to 2 hours. I kid you not, because I guess I have nothing better to do.
Feels like there must be a better way.
I know, but like apparently there's a science to this where like scientists have studied this, that wires tangle themselves. Not like they have a mind of their own, but they actually do, when undisturbed, tangle all on their own. So I was dealing with that for hours and then finally got this up. I'm proud of myself for nothing else than that. But we have a $20 super chat that I need to make sure I get to first from Shane H. Wilder. Happy Monday, Brett and Mary. Sadly, I got a woman pilot, so pray for me. No, I did not wear a suit, but I am wearing jeans, boots, flannel, a pea coat, and a black cowboy hat. No Puetzels, just in-flight Wi-Fi, zinning, and seltzer water.
Wait, so
as you should.
A cowboy hat seems like an interesting choice for a plane, right?
For a plane, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that.
Because you sit and then
except for in the Nashville airport.
And it just falls off.
Yeah, it's not very convenient, but good on you for trying at least. You're, flying with civility or whatever they're telling us to do.
The transportation secretary would give you props, I have no doubt.
Yes, I'm sure. Guys, I also, totally unrelated, have to tell someone about this because I feel like I'm losing my mind. I drink out of this, Hello Kitty mug every day. Brett gave it to me, actually. It is an official Sanrio product. Am I correct?
I don't. I think I got that at TJ Maxx. I don't know what Sanrio product means.
Well, because I looked on the bottom, there is a sticker that says it's an actual Sanrio licensed product.
Okay.
It's not just some random thing from China. But the other day, I finished my drink and I looked down into the bottom of the cup, and it says, it's like imprinted in the metal. It says Sus 304. And I was like, is this some kind of hidden psychological warfare from China?
They're you the Sus 304? Because that's mean if that's what they're calling you.
I felt insulted immediately. Now, maybe that doesn't mean what Americans think it means. Maybe it's just a product number. I have no idea. But that was I just needed to bring that up because I feel like I'm going insane. Maybe I'll find a Reddit thread of other people who found the same thing, but
I don't think I looked down into the bottom of the cup when I bought it for you. Was that for Christmas or your birthday? I don't think I looked down into the cup, so
I don't even remember how long ago that was. But yeah, I hadn't looked at the bottom of the cup until the other day either. So just feeling a little bit nuts right now. We have another 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. Kennedy exit restaurant party ran until 1:30 a.m. when Ding Dong was sung. Retired Disney exec picked up $100,000 plus tab and had after party that ran until 5 a.m. at their Brentwood mansion. Staff from ILM, Frisco, and Vancouver attended.
That's a new level.
How do you know this?
That's a new level of petty.
That is insane. So guys, for context, this is allegedly the celebration of Kathleen Kennedy's exit from Lucasfilm. I have no idea what the source is, or maybe you don't need a source. Maybe you're just that connected, Junkie. But I hope it's true.
Yeah.
I hope that you're right.
Yeah.
Were you there? It sounds like you were there. I don't know. Let us know.
That's the real question is, did you get into the party at the Brentwood mansion? That's what I want to see.
That's the real exclusive after spot.
That sounds like one of those parties that Glenn Powell goes to and then Kevin Spacey is there and wants to take a picture and he has to be nah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm hoping that that's a real thing.
All right.
But
guys, what you should do is hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Remember to share the episodes out with everybody that you know. The more people that you share the content with, the faster this channel can grow. And we are actually, so the thing is, guys, is we're going to be live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. We will be off Thursday and Friday, but have no fear. We will be back the following Monday at our regular schedule. So this week, Mary will be here Monday and Tuesday, and Colonel Kurtz will be here on Wednesday. Next week, we go back to our regular schedule. Mary will be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesday will be Colonel Kurtz. Thursday, next week, will be Alex and Brandon. Will be back in studio, which should be a lot of fun. So don't worry, guys. This week is on me. I have something going on, something family-oriented that I have to go and take care of and go and do. So we will be back the following week, and then everything goes back to normal. So just a heads up at the beginning of the week, and I will remind you guys again on Wednesday. So what are we getting into today? There's going to be a lot to talk about. Number one, of course, being that Finn Wolfhard was on Saturday Night Live, and there's all sorts of weird controversy around jokes about lady parts and jokes about women's behavior during sex. It's a whole thing. It's being referred to as misogynistic. So we're going to talk about it. Also, Matt Damon drew a lot of eyeballs recently when he had this clip on Joe Rogan. Both him and Ben Affleck were on there. I believe they were probably there, honestly, to promote the new Netflix movie they have coming out called The Rip, which is funny that they mentioned Netflix because he's going viral because he was talking about how Netflix wants them, the writers and the directors of these movies, to make sure that actors are mentioning the plot of their movies at least 3 or 4 times in a film because, let's face it, nobody has any attention span these days, and they have to do whatever they can to keep people read up on the script while they're watching your movie while also doing dishes, doing laundry, sewing your kids' clothes, planning out your doom scrolling, doing your meal prep for the week, literally doing anything but watching the movie.
So their movie is premiering on Netflix?
Yep, premiered this week.
Interesting that they are throwing so much shade at Netflix.
I mean, I didn't take their clip. We'll talk about it. I didn't really take their clip as shade as much as I took it as a matter of fact opinion on the way they run things there. It definitely didn't feel as adversarial as I think some of it is framed. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Red Pill Avengers got together over the weekend and went to a bunch of nightclubs. We were, of course, talking about, what was it? It was Clavicular. He's the guy who pounds his face to make himself more handsome and injected himself with so much testosterone, he probably can't have kids anymore. We're going to talk about Clavicular, Myron Gaines, was Sneeko there? Nick Fuentes?
Nick Fuentes, the Tate brothers, yes.
They got together and they went clubbing.
Manosphere Avenger.
I no clue why Nick Fuentes would want to be there. It just doesn't seem like his crowd.
I don't think he did want to be there.
So they got together, they went to some nightclubs, and then they, of course, went viral because they were listening to Ye's band song. And now a prominent Jewish club owner, he owns lots of clubs in the Miami area, has banned him. They have banned Clavicular. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. If you're ready, Mary, we can go. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go. Oh, and also intercession maxing, as always.
Yes, of course. We are intercession maxing to ward off any technical issues today.
For the seculars, knock on wood. Okay.
Yeah, sure, if you feel so inclined. To my unpleasant surprise, Zootopia 2 has become Disney's biggest animated movie of all time worldwide. Smashing all the records, it has now surpassed $1.7 billion in the worldwide box office, surpassing all other Disney animated movies for all of Disney's history. And what stood out to me when I saw this headline and really disturbed me is that commercial success these days has become a totally divorced metric from cultural impact.
Yes, absolutely.
This goes for the box office, streaming shows, music, everything. For instance, you know, last year when Taylor Swift put out her newest album, The Life of a Showgirl, it was selling millions of copies. And I'm first of all confused because who buys albums these days? But she was also gaming the system by releasing all of these variants. That aside, nobody is going to remember The Life of a Showgirl. It had 0 real hits. It was almost universally mocked, actually, and critically panned. But for some reason, the commercial success flew in the face of that. reception.
I think,
and same goes for most box office hits now. And I think that Zootopia 2 is a perfect example of that. I tweeted about this. A lot of people accused me of, prejudging it without having watched it. But I am not just an old, out of touch elder Zoomer. I am an old, out of touch elder Zoomer who at least tries to keep up with what's going on. And I did watch Zootopia 2. And my main impression of the movie is that it will be forgotten. It wasn't bad. It wasn't offensive. But it also wasn't great. It wasn't excellent. It's not what we were once accustomed to, especially from a studio like Disney. And I thought the biggest tell of Disney's awareness that their cultural output is irrelevant and will be for the foreseeable future is their callback to Ratatouille. This movie came out 2 decades ago, and they included an Easter egg callback to Ratatouille in Zootopia. Just a random blink and you miss it moment in the movie. And it was mainly for adults to notice because the kids watching it aren't familiar with Ratatouille, I'm guessing. And it was less commercially successful, but Ratatouille is still remembered, still quoted, still referenced, still relevant and beloved to this day. Zootopia 2 is not going to meet that criteria. It's going to be entirely forgotten. This is not going to be remembered fondly by an entire generation of kids. It's not going to be something that you feel like you want to show your own kids. It's a nothing. It's like worse than just being bad. Like, it's not even Lightyear level of bad or offensive. It's just slop.
I wonder if honestly the only anime. Okay, so here's the thing. A big part of this has to do with is where its box office is coming from, which is heavily from China. So a lot of its success box office wise is international, which means we are a bit divorced from where its impact is being felt. So it's possible. Have you ever heard those stories about like a band that for some reason is like really big in one foreign country and nobody ever knows why?
Or like especially Japan.
Yes,
like,
I mean that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like big in. Anybody ever see the South Park skit "Banned in China"? I
don't remember it.
But in general, the output for movies nowadays means that there is going to be no culturally relevant films in the same way that it was 20 years ago. Because the honestly, and it's going to sound weird to say this, the closest thing I can think of might be like a Spider-Verse movies, because they're so different from the other animated movies of their time that they might speak more to a generation that will be held in higher regard as those people get older. And those movies aren't as they're successful, but they're not as culturally, or they're not as financially successful as we're seeing from Zootopia. I don't know if there's an explanation other than just the saturation of the market as far as where you can get entertainment from.
Well, I remarked on like why Ratatouille, in my opinion, is, and this is just one example of many, why it's so beloved and remembered and still culturally relevant.
Did we miss this 20 from Pop Culture Junkie? Says source was retired ILM San Francisco compositor who was invited, who is an old friend of mine, called me on Sunday morning and was still hungover. She generally described it as a really good time. If you don't know what ILM, guys, it's Industrial Lights and Magic. That is an arm of Lucasfilm.
I mean, that's specific enough that I actually believe you.
Yep.
That's a great story. But, you know, I listed all of these reasons why Ratatouille would never get made today. And there are plenty of culture war reference points. I mean, one of them is there's a scene where the main character finally kisses his love interest, but she's on the verge of pepper spraying him in the face the moment that the kiss happens. And it was not anything that anybody questioned or even gave a second thought in the 2000s. They also have at least 3 scenes that I remember where characters are shooting shotguns and pistols either like at each other or at Remy the rat. I know that would cause a cultural uproar amongst parents today. And also it wasn't as fast paced or just visually stimulating as a movie like Zootopia 2 is, because kids back then, even though it's been not that long of a time, had better attention spans. They're not victims of brain rot.
Nothing is edifying anymore. Now it's about quantity, not quality.
Yes. And, you know, the deeper reason why a movie like Ratatouille wouldn't get made today is because I think that the people behind stories like that, original ideas, true creatives who are excellent at what they do, have been systematically filtered out of their industry for a lot of reasons. DEI is an obvious one. But they appear to have just been raptured one day off of the planet.
I mean, like
it's not magic. They were systematically forced out of their own industry.
Like if you're talking about like a John Lasseter or something like that, a lot of them move to other companies and they're just not at brands that have the same, you know, whether it's DreamWorks or something like that. They're somewhere other than Disney. They're just not working for Disney anymore.
Well, what I'm talking about is, I think it was reported in either Puck or the Free Press, I forget now, but it was a recent report about Hollywood screenwriters being systematically replaced if they were white or male or straight. Specifically, like the trifecta of the straight white male was systematically forced out of the industry in favor of less talented minority groups. So that's a huge reason why this is happening.
What was that movie that everybody really liked in like 2024? Was it The Wild Robot? In that, like, it didn't break the top 20 for the box office, but people said, like, you should go see this movie. It's really, really good. I saw somebody gave us a super chat recently and mentioned that their favorite animated movie that they had seen in years was Klaus. And that was a Netflix animated movie from like 5 years ago or 4 years ago and something like that. It's just, there's so much to choose from now. And this is what I've always said, is that it's not that those people are gone. It's that the same amount of really, really talented people has always existed at about the same metric, but there's so much more stuff getting made now that it's spread throughout a bunch of different brands and it's not all consolidated into a couple of places. So you have to go farther to find it. And then you have movies like The Wild Robot, which for all intents and purposes should have been a big deal and then ended up not being a big deal at all because nobody knew it was being made.
Yeah, and then we're in this terrible situation where we're constantly clamoring for original content, and then when the original content comes out, especially in theaters, it flops. And it appears they're right, that we don't actually want original ideas. Hence why they're making another Toy Story. They're making a second Zootopia. And one of the replies to my tweet about this was especially infuriating. It said, I think the primary reason why Ratatouille would never get made today is because it was made in 2007.
What? What does that
Are
even
you
mean?
really implying that Disney wouldn't make a movie because they already made it?
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally their entire business model, is just making more of what they've already made. Like, I just, that is so divorced from reality.
And look, you look at the movie. So you mentioned Toy Story, right? So Toy Story 5 is coming out this year.
Yes.
The thing about Toy Story is like its box office returns in order as far as like its success is 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. If you adjust for inflation, it's 3, 4, 2, 1. But if you want to talk about cultural relevance, it made its jumping off point. I would still say that 1 and 2 are, I mean, it's widely considered before they made 4 to be one of the best trilogies of all time. But as far as what I remember about it, it's the first one. And for most people, it's the first one. But the box office does not bear that out. The box office says 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, unless you adjust for inflation, it's because 3 was made in like 2010 or something like that. Then it's 3, 4, 2, 1.
Yeah,
they're not even similar metrics anymore. They're completely divorced from one another. Barbie being what it was might be one of the rare exceptions where it actually did feel like a cultural moment. Like that feels like one of those movies that could be like, what is it, like the Library of Congress or whatever, where movies get selected for or whatever it is. Like that feels like one of those ones that whether you liked it or not will probably end up there, probably with Oppenheimer. They'll probably get nominated at the same time.
Probably, yeah. It's really hard for something to break through and reach that level of cultural impact. I think K-pop Demon Hunters did that. But even when I watched K-pop Demon Hunters, I thought, like, this is not nearly as great as everyone was saying.
I think that people are so starved for something that that and catchy music goes a long way to get you excited about something.
Yeah, I mean that definitely is a part of it, and the fact that K-pop has reached such popularity in the West, but it's not as great of a story as people said it was, and I was being like inundated with word of mouth recommendations for K-pop Demon Hunters, and when I finally gave it a chance, I was like, okay, this is how easily satisfied we are now. Like in 2007, we were just accustomed to a very basic minimum baseline of excellence from every major studio. And that's why a movie like Ratatouille, just as one example, was not considered groundbreaking, epic, remarkable in any way. It was just as great as everything else was.
I would even argue that even if you want to talk about slop, 2007 Michael Bay Transformers is still still had more cultural relevance than almost anything that's getting made today, even if it's a better movie. So
I saw a still from Transformers yesterday that it was just so washed in yellow and like saturated color, and just like it was beautiful. And somebody color graded it to look like the average Marvel movie.
No, just washed out and just every color looks like it's flecked with white tinge and gross looking.
And one of the responses said, well, this actually looks better than the original.
Shut the fuck up to whoever said that.
Like, first of all, you're wrong. But second of all, if that were how the original Transformers looked, it wouldn't be recognizable. You know that it's Transformers as soon as you see it. Yeah. It had an identity.
Oh, I'm going to have to go home and rewatch all the first 3 of them this week. Sorry, Olivia, but we're going to have to watch Transformers this week.
You sent me this list of all of the animated movies coming out in 2026, and I think the only one that's guaranteed to be a hit is the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
You don't think Toy Story is a sure thing?
No, not necessarily, especially after the Lightyear movie. I know it's not a one-to-one comparison because it's not in the Toy Story universe, but yeah, I think that it might actually have a really disappointing box office.
Okay, so I just asked a question in the chat. I said, will Super Mario Brothers Galaxy beat the last Super Mario Brothers movie at the box office? We will have to wait and see.
There's also Hexed from Disney. There's a third Angry Birds movie. Like no one. Angry Birds? Yeah. I played that when I was in elementary school. Yeah. What are we doing as a society?
We're
a third Minions movie, another Paw Patrol movie.
Cat in the Hat movie? A doctor. Okay. Brought to life by Mike Myers is making a return with Bill Hader voicing the Cat in the Hat in a new animated feature.
I feel so bad for today's kids. They just don't have it the way that we had it.
Also, I wonder if any of this goes back to celebrity casting in movies these days rather than actual voice actors. I was just looking at the Dr. Seuss casting. Xochitl Gomez, Matt Berry, Quinta Brunson, Giancarlo Esposito, America Ferrera, Bowen Yang, and then the last 3 names were ones I'd never heard of. But all of those were major names. They weren't necessarily voice actors. They're just actors who also happen to do voice work.
Yeah, I think that's because of the fact that Hollywood seems to not recognize voice acting as its own specific skill and art form. They also don't really respect the medium of animation, hence why they intend to make every animated movie into a live action adaptation. There's no recognition for what makes those movies unique.
All right, let's move on. We asked a question in the chat today, guys. We have a poll up. Do you drink milk?
Yeah, I personally don't, but I'm going to give my advice to the Department of Agriculture about how they ought to revamp their milk campaign. They're aggressively promoting whole milk right now, and it is such a downgrade from the iconic Got Milk campaign of the 90s and the 2000s. I'm sure many of you remember it because it reached a 95% awareness rate in U.S. households. That's how big of a deal it was. Possibly the most successful government propaganda campaign in history.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
this campaign is not it.
So beyond that, there was also that was all. It feels like because it was my childhood. This was the same time when when liberals had the Rock the Vote campaign, which was a very big deal, and all the cool celebrities were part of Rock the Vote. And then if you were a stuffy conservative, unfortunately, you had Redeem the Vote, which just, believe it or not, it wasn't a hit with the kids. I can't imagine why. But, like, you know, in general, the propaganda campaigns were better back then because all your media was situated in one place. Now it's all, disseminated amongst multiple platforms and multiple types of media. It's just the government isn't spitting its propaganda out the way they used to.
No, and feel however you want to feel about government-funded propaganda campaigns, but they used to be better in execution. So the first ad that I saw for whole milk from the Department of Agriculture shows a bunch of children. I have no idea whose kids these are, but it's just so creepy. The lighting is disturbing. They're just on this gray background wearing these strange costumes.
Yeah, it looks like a scene from The Shining or something.
They look like the ghosts of the Victorian era. It's terrifying. This looks like a paranormal sighting of Victorian era children.
So I meant to quote tweet this and be like, it's like conservatives can't art. Like, and you always have to preface and say, like, modern conservatives can't art because they're going to be like Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. I'm like, okay, something from this decade, okay?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're going to need gays with clipboards and liberal art designers to do your art for this stuff. I'm sorry.
This is really bad. And again, I don't blame the kids.
It's not the kids' fault. No,
it's not their fault. No, the lighting and the composition is just trash.
Nobody is criticizing the children. They're not even criticizing the message. Drinking milk is, it's good for you. But you have to actually present it in a palatable way. I don't know who this is for.
And then in this other ad, Riley Gaines is featured, I believe also with her husband, doing the milk mustache, saying the milk mustache is back.
I'm going to mute this here so we don't... Okay, there we go. So there it is.
And then
I would be willing to bet.
No mustache.
I would be willing to bet. You know how they make those rules where when they make commercials, they have to use real food for the commercials? I bet you when they were doing the Got Milk campaigns, that was like paint on their faces.
Yeah.
I guarantee it wasn't actual milk.
This is key. They painted on the milk mustache, obviously, but they didn't do that this time. Why? I have no idea. But also, she still looks like she is in an interrogation room. This is doing her no favors. The lighting is horrible. It just looks so drab and unglamorous. And in this third video, you see an AI-generated version of RFK Jr. drinking whole milk in a nightclub for some reason.
Well, I mean, this is a meme, so...
I know, but still, it's just like, what are we doing, folks?
Yes. All right.
This is not going to convince anybody to drink milk. And, the libs are crashing out over this. They are kind of taking it to a different level where they're like saying that this is sinister and it's not the boogeyman that they're making it out to be. I'm just criticizing the execution. I think they could really level it up. One reply said the whole milk campaign was 100% supposed to be a raw milk campaign. And their guess is the admin's lawyers had to inform them what a stupid idea that was. The marketing money was already spent, so they pivoted to whole milk instead. It's incredibly obvious. I agree.
Why did it have to be any specific? Why couldn't it just be milk in general?
The reason I agree with this person's theory that it was originally conceptualized as a raw milk ad is because they're framing milk as some controversial thing. Like you're going against the system, man, if you drink whole milk. No, like milk is not controversial. But raw milk certainly is.
Yes.
And I'm just going to say it's not safe to drink raw milk. It's not. You can do it at your own risk if you feel that strongly about it. But it's, of course, not advisable to drink raw milk. And that's mainly because of the way that the cows are farmed and the things they're fed. That's a whole other conversation. But it was originally a totally different ad concept that they retrofitted to be, to not get sued, essentially. And another reply said, the intern at the Department of Agriculture said, here's that video promoting kids drinking milk. I made it really creepy like you asked.
Was beef, it's what's for dinner, a government thing too?
I don't recall that one.
Beef?
Not from my upbringing, at least.
No, it says it was a long-running, iconic American advertising slogan campaign launched by the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, funded by the Beef Checkoff program to promote beef consumption.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds big ag.
Yeah.
Another reply said, you can tell so many of these people, they mean people in politics, are just Hollywood wannabes who never made it due to a lack of skill. They didn't know they were supposed to paint the milk mustache on, for F's sake.
That's, the first thing I thought was like, you understand that when they do these things that it's about what actually pops on camera.
Right. Yeah. It's common sense ain't common, I guess. And then another one said, this is sick propaganda shit. This government is nuts. The country is rotting.
Okay, that is over. Is it poorly executed? Yes. Is it evil? No.
No, it's not evil. It's just stupid. And I want to compare this to a couple images I posted from the original Got Milk ads featuring actual celebrities. No shade to Riley Gaines.
Look at the way the background pops in that photo there.
Look at this. The Olsen twins in this one, it says, all grown up. We're not little girls anymore, but that doesn't mean we've stopped drinking our milk. We know about 15% of your height is added during your teen years, and the calcium in milk can help. Who knows, you might be the next big thing. And in this Britney Spears ad, this is so clever. Just the writing is so clever. Baby, one more time isn't enough. 9 out of 10 girls don't get enough calcium. It takes about 4 glasses of milk every day. So when I finish this glass, fill it up, baby. Bro, 3 more times.
So the thing is we've turned into our own industry of propagandists, where it's like the women who have the gigantic bottle of water that looks like it looks like it's. Yes, it's bigger
those people
than that.
Are crazy.
But it's got the list on the side where it's like you have to drink this much to get through the day.
Yeah.
To drink your allotted amount.
I don't even agree that like milk is a necessary part of the average person's diet, but the Got Milk campaign successfully convinced an entire generation that it is.
Yes.
And that is an effective marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And partly it's because they got such A-list star power involved. They had athletes, actors, models. They had Kate Moss. They had Beyonce, Rihanna.
For the men, I think Stone Cold Steve Austin had one back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. The biggest.
I think they even had Chris Brown.
Beer drinking redneck, his as they called him, drinking milk.
I saw multiple Taylor Swift Got Milk ads from back when she was a country star. They got everyone involved. And unfortunately, even if this administration tried, they wouldn't be able to secure that level of real, like, culturally relevant talent. They wouldn't be able to get, Sabrina Carpenter to do a milk ad for them because we're in such a polarized time.
Well, no, look at what's going on.
Look
at what's going on at the Kennedy Center. The amount of artists that have pulled out of working at the Kennedy Center because of the rename.
It's a different time. But the Got Milk campaign never at any point needed to frame milk as some controversial beverage in order to promote it. They just said, basically, look at this cool person who you idolize. They drink milk, so should you.
There it is, Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's better to be ice cold for Stone Cold. Somebody had to come up with that. It says, milk has nutrients active bodies need and protein for butt-whooping muscles. Can't swear in here, of course, because it's a government-funded ad. So make sure it's icy, because Stone Cold said so. Perfect.
Yeah. And it's iconic for a reason. This is aspirational marketing at its best, at its peak. There were also, they had like the Friends cast. They had like Lindsay Lohan. They had every big celebrity at the time participate. And, say what you will about government-funded propaganda campaigns. I'm just saying they don't make them like they used to. I love a good conspiracy too, but they don't make conspiracy theories the way they used to either.
I agree.
It's unfortunate.
All right, let's move on. What you see, cringe or cute?
Let's see the cringe first. Actually, this one's pretty bad.
This one's pretty bad.
So this guy called someone's cheating ex and pretended to be a record label executive and was offering him a deal for his SoundCloud rap.
All right, hold on here. I'm getting the cute of the day ready as well. All right, here we go. Let's listen.
Is this Cameron?
Yeah.
Hi, Cameron. This is Cassandra. You go by the rapper name Planet. Is that correct?
How did you get my number?
You have connects with SoundCloud, and they connected us because we were scouting you.
This person doesn't sound like anybody that's ever scouted somebody in their life. That's just
Oh, okay.
Yes. My name is Cassandra Bowman. I am a vice president of recruiting and talent acquisition at Republic Records. And I kind of wanted just to put ourselves on the map for you. We offer services for artists that essentially allow you to be represented by a major label. And then from there, we can hopefully get your music out to more people. From what we've heard on your SoundCloud, we are very interested.
Okay.
What song on your SoundCloud represents you best?
Against Me is a really good one. Walls Caving In.
Oh, Walls Caving In
And
is
Cry
my
Out
personal
to You.
favorite.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I personally, I'm a big fan of Mind and Soul.
Okay.
I really like Mind and
Okay.
Soul. That was a
Wait, can you tell me why this is happening again? What happened?
What?
Like-
This man was enlisted to
Okay.
humiliate someone's
Oh.
cheating ex-boyfriend.
powerful one. But Make You Stay is my number one. Now,
Okay, awesome. I like to hear that.
yeah, of course. Cameron, I'll be completely honest with you. I listened to your stuff, and I could not stop thinking one thing. Cameron is going to be the next Juice WRLD.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was my thing. That was my thing. I walked into the building, and I sat down with the president, and I said, I want to make history. I want to sign him. And that's what this is. So you freestyle stuff a lot. You do some songwriting, you do some...
I freestyle my music, yeah.
Okay. I like it. Okay, I like freestyle something.
I'm gonna shoot a movie like Paramount. I'll be trying to get cash. Motherfuckers think it's fun. But when I'm trying to count funds, they just want, I don't know, I'm trying to come up with something quick right now.
That was good. Rhyming Paramount, that was a tough one, and you clocked it. That was good. Make a freestyle about, like, Valentine's Day.
Why do you put me through this, dude? Somebody in the chat says this is mean-spirited. Well, assuming that this guy actually cheated on someone, you know.
Yeah.
Karma's a
I just want to
bitch.
spread love in a balanced day type of way. Seems like sometimes I need to run away. I'm trying to find a path to pave. I'm looking at this girl saying, can we have a brighter day? I don't know.
Wow! Cameron. Cameron. That's good. Cameron. Okay, I'm just going to start calling you Juicy. I'm going to start calling
Oh my god.
you Juicy. Oh my goodness. What are the favorite rappers? What are the inspos? Like Nicki, Cardi, Remy Ma, Natalie Nunn.
So, if I can explain any inspirational rappers for me, it's like Tupac for sure.
Okay.
Been really into.
He's dead, right?
Enemy with some.
Yes,
that's
Tupac
kind of
is
my,
dead.
My pops put me on this Public Enemy.
Oh, your dad's dead too? I'm sorry, honey.
Yeah, my dad really. No, my dad's alive. He just was the one that put
Period.
me on to all this rap music.
Oh, I'm glad he's alive. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Love it.
I want to make music. I want to elevate. People talk down on my name, but they don't know it's an exaggerate.
Bro, I can't do this anymore.
Are you tapping
I'm
out?
tapping out, dude. I can't.
He really had him going there.
Bro, what the fuck?
Bro's getting his big break.
I guess he deserved it because he's a cheater. But seriously, though, like, that was evil.
But I mean, it is a self-own because you were dating a SoundCloud rapper
Yes,
in the first place.
correct.
So
All
you
right.
kind of deserved whatever was coming to you.
Let's look at cute of the day. My gosh, I've got two here today. So here we go.
Okay.
First one being, this one is from Charlie Martell. Says this was cute of the day a while back with a kitten picture, so I didn't share this, but it was super festive.
We
That is
love a festive cat.
Yes, we do.
Very cute.
And
They
then
love Christmas trees.
And then we've got one more here, I think. Hold on here. Oh no, hold on. We lost our place.
Where's
here.
the other one?
I'm going back to it. Hold on, please. There was
Someone's gonna be really mad.
Yeah,
if
well,
their
we don't want
today
to
doesn't
do
get
that
featured.
to someone and not have their thing shown. So
Someone's gonna go postal.
They would absolutely do that. Okay, here we go. We're back here. All right.
Is it another cat?
Dogs this time.
Okay.
Here we go.
Only.
Get through the Christmas ones. From Tony Aiello says, left to right, Ruger, Cheddar Bob, and Benelli.
I love the name Cheddar Bob.
Benelli is 100% deaf, and her brothers help. Aww.
Do you approve of the outfits?
Yes.
Brett?
Well, because it's
I know this is a sensitive topic for you.
Because it's Christmas, it's fine. Any other time of year, you're humiliating the dogs. And at least the this one looks like it's a hipster. We're getting hipster vibes from this one.
It's giving stomp clap.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey ho.
All right, let's hold off on the rest. I've got more. So there's a whole folder of Cute of the Days. So thank you guys so much for that. Let's move on.
Great. We are officially in the post Stranger Things era where all of the cast is trying to find their own way in the industry and form an identity as an adult. And Finn Wolfhard recently opened SNL as the host for the night. His monologue is angering a lot of people, a lot of former fans, specifically because of a joke that he made about, how do I say this, lady parts. He was talking about how strange it was to grow up in the public eye. He said, my voice changed on camera. My first kiss was on camera. And I'll just let us react to the clip where he finishes this thought. Here it is.
Here we go.
Can't actually believe that I'm admitting this, but the first time I learned what a woman looks like down there was on camera as well. So we have another clip, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're showing a clip of a Demogorgon from the show screaming, and I guess he wasn't the first person to make a distasteful comparison between the Demogorgon and female genitalia. So this was reprehensible for a lot of people. They just could not let this slide. Here was one response from a former fan. Jokes about the female body and female genitalia have been made for centuries, and women still bring children into this misogynistic world, inflicting harm and pain on their organs for the sake of our society. The decline in birth rates is so deserved, you misogynistic pricks.
I read, I'm not even kidding you, I read a tweet earlier where a woman who was essayed says that it was Finn Wolfhard who made this culture possible.
Oh.
Yes.
So he is somehow to blame for
correct
the fact that she was essayed. Okay. Another response said, our society is so comfortable with degradation of women's bodies. I'm expected to hear this and be a good sport. I'm supposed to feel shame and disgust about my body that allows me to laugh along. Instead, I see this for the heinous misogyny it is. Another one said the propaganda that women's bodies are disgusting and have to be fixed while men's are a gift to the world is so tiring. It can't be understated how much shame culture around female sexual organs contributes to the overall oppression of women globally. And Finn Wolfhard is now the mascot for this.
If I could push
the oppression
back
of women all over the world.
If I could push back just a little bit of that, I did see this thing that Ashton Kutcher said over the weekend where he says that he once was fired from a Gucci campaign for being too fat. So apparently his body has been judged as well.
Well, I guess anybody can be too fat. That's not specific to one sex or another. So I understand why people feel particularly grossed out and offended by this joke. I mean, I don't think it's that deep. Like, I agree with them that it's distasteful and not very funny. I don't like vagina jokes from Amy Schumer or Finn Wolfhard. I think we can all do with less vagina jokes. But they also had Caleb McLaughlin and Gaten Matarazzo, his co-stars from Stranger Things, crash the party and join in, showing up on screen. And they were talking about growing up on screen, all the things that people would say about them on Reddit, but at the end joked they're now grown and ready to star in, as they put it, adult films. And then later on in the episode, they did a sketch which was some Stranger Things spin-off in the style of Sex and the City.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't catch the Sex and the City reference, or they're just not old enough to remember it. Though oddly enough, the audience might be the same. They're just not from that time period.
Well, I mean, certainly the Stranger Things cast did not grow up with this show, but they are, you know, in this scene sipping on Cosmos, and Finn Wolfhard, as his character Mike, asks the other characters, let's cut to the chase. How are your sex lives? And Caleb McLaughlin, referencing his on-screen girlfriend, says, well, Max and I started off all hot and heavy, right? But then a couple of years in, she just lies there like she's back in that coma.
And people who don't understand the joke thought that this was literally a joke about assault.
Right.
Because
One of the replies said the concept of girlfriends and wives hating the sex that they have with men and doing it out of obligation as their role of a partner/spouse is rape culture. Another one said, even if it's not a rape joke, I don't know why it's funny watching men laughing at a woman not enjoying sex. Another wrote, it's the unfunniest thing I've ever seen in my life. The classic misogynistic I hate my wife jokes. So funny, I forgot to laugh. So that offended many people as well. Not as much as the Demogorgon joke, but I just don't think it's funny because SNL isn't funny and because vulgarity is not inherently funny. Like, you have to actually be a funny person to make that work. It's just giving more Amy Schumer vibes to me.
Yeah, but the difference is like people were, for the lack of a better word, rubbed raw by the Amy Schumer stuff because females being potential, purposely vulgar is something that ran out of style like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
As a substitute for being actually funny.
At one point it was somewhat novel. It's not novel anymore. It's what's expected.
Yeah, but I think the type of people who are responsible for writing jokes in SNL, the only, I guess, way that they know how to offend at this point is vulgarity. So they can't poke fun at any other taboos or any other cultural sensitivities because they're woke. So they have to rely on sex jokes basically, jokes about genitalia, and it's just not very funny. I don't think that it's rape culture or anything like that, but it's not funny for other reasons. And now, Noah Schnapp is the most universally hated actor who came out of the Stranger Things cast. However, he is now being praised in contrast to his male co-stars for being a good male feminist. In fact, back when Millie Bobby Brown made this long-winded explanation of her feelings about being shamed for her appearance by journalists, and she called out many of them by name, Noah Schnapp at the time shared that on his own Instagram, saying, can we stop shaming women for their appearance? It's hard enough to be your own worst critic, and facing that judgment on a public scale only makes it worse. Millie is growing into herself beautifully. As a community, we need to do better. Real people are affected by the words we type. No one needs to change what they look like. What really needs to change is the way we treat one another. So now Noah Schnapp is kind of clawing his way back into the good graces of woke people on Twitter because he is more of a feminist than his male co-stars.
This is the out that girl from Cat's Eye finally needs when she was said that Noah Schnapp was handsome. They're like, excuse me, Palestine lady? This person's a Zionist. You can't find him handsome.
Yeah, I just can't wait for the Stranger Things cast, with the exception of Millie Bobby Brown, to be completely irrelevant.
I mean, I'm sure one of them
my
will.
prediction.
I would assume that one of them will end up having, beyond Millie Bobby Brown, will end up having the bigger career of all of them. Unlike the Harry Potter stars, who all kind of faded into the same, to varying levels of obscurity.
Well, I guess the best thing that could happen now is both of the Duffer brothers go on some sort of anti-trans tirade, and the cast has to denounce them, or they'll lose everything.
That's not what's going to happen. It feels like this episode was a couple of weeks too late anyways. They should have gotten to this before.
Yeah.
the series was over.
Right. I mean, it's not as relevant now,
Yeah.
but like we're still riding off of the fumes of the series. And they even made a joke about the conspiracy theories about having a 9th episode finale, poking fun at the audience for basically hating the last season. It's not a good strategy. I think they're going to need to work really hard to create a new reputation for themselves after this show, especially when it ended in such a bad way.
Yep.
Like at least what you can say for the Harry Potter franchise, it ended on a high note.
Yep.
Like it never got to the point like, and granted it's because it's a movie series, not a TV series.
You could say that the
never went the way of
spin-offs,
like Game of Thrones.
the spin-offs felt that way for a lot of people. They felt like the Fantastic Beasts movies went too far.
You know, even for the cast of The Walking Dead, which fell off terribly in later seasons, like I haven't seen any of them in big projects.
I just saw Andrew Lincoln is in like some show on like Showtime, like Cold Water or something, or maybe it's Paramount.
What?
Yeah, it's like I hadn't seen him in years. But the thing
That's
is,
crazy.
if I made Andrew Lincoln Walking Dead money, you wouldn't see me either. At all. And what, like I guess Daryl Dixon was, that actor was working up until recently because that was like the last spin-off to go off the air, one of the last spin-offs to go off the air.
It was so bad. Like I tried, I don't know why, but I tried to watch the Daryl Dixon spinoff, and it's just starting off from the point of 911 where the comets are flying through the sky. It was literally
What the
like
heck
that,
is that?
because why is Daryl Dixon in Paris? Like why are we doing Emily in Paris Walking Dead collab right now? What is going on? Why he just sailed there? He sailed across the Atlantic on a boat in the post-apocalyptic world.
Taylor Sheridan shows
and ended
are
up
going
in
this...
post-apocalyptic Paris.
Yellowstone shows are going this way now too, with like the 10,000 spin-offs.
It needs to stop. It needs to stop immediately.
All right, let's go to some super chats.
Okay. Shane H. Wilder said, I add milk to things like cocoa or my morning shredded wheat biscuit, but drinking it straight, nah, I'm good. But if you like it, you do you, boo-boo. Yeah, I don't drink milk, and this might be controversial, but almond milk is better than actual milk.
Yeah, my dad tried really hard to get me to drink milk, and I didn't like it.
I don't drink milk because I'm not a baby, so I don't need that.
I eat enough cereal. Oh, yeah, I eat enough cereal. That's enough.
What was that?
I thought the crisis party was going off.
Party?
I think it. I got.
There it is. Thank you, guys. Possibly the best crisis party sound.
Rip to whoever is upstairs. I think Brian's upstairs. Sorry, guys.
Oh well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do one more.
Pop culture junkie. Oh no, already read that one. Shane said the cowboy hat wouldn't fit in my checked luggage. Yeah.
Checks out.
So I guess you have no choice. You have to wear it on the plane.
All right. Hold off on the rest. Let's move on. We got more to get into.
Okay, so recently Matt Damon and Ben Affleck appeared together on the Joe Rogan Experience, and it's because they're business partners. They have a production company together called Artists Equity, and they're also promoting their new movie, which is premiering on Netflix, which makes it all the more interesting that they had such choice words for Netflix. This has been common knowledge for quite a while now. I'm not sure exactly when this information came to light, but we did cover it at the time. Allegedly, Netflix screenwriters are under mandate to have characters in dialogue restating exposition and restating the plot almost constantly throughout every TV series and every movie on Netflix. They do this because they know that audiences are not paying full attention to the screen. They're in the middle of chores. They call it Tide Pod cinema because you're in the middle of doing laundry while half paying attention to whatever is on your TV screen. And Matt Damon was referencing this during the interview, and I guess a lot of people heard this for the first time and they felt validated, like, oh, I'm not going crazy. Like, they actually are dumbing down the scripts for viewers because we're constantly doom scrolling. So here's what he had to say.
Experience of watching at home, I think, you know, you're watching in a room, the lights are on, other shit's going on, the kids are running around, the dogs are running around, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's just a very different level of attention that you're willing to, or that you're able to give to it. And that has a big effect. And it also ends up having an effect, or is starting to have an effect on how you make movies. Like, for instance, Netflix, you know, the standard way to make an action movie that we learned was, you know, you usually have like 3 set pieces, one in the first act, one in the second, one in the third, and you know, they kind of ramp up, and the big one with all the explosions, and you spend most of your money on that one in the third act. That's your kind of finale. And now they're like, can we get a big one in the first 5 minutes to get somebody, you know, we want people to stay tuned in, and you know, it wouldn't be terrible if you reiterated the plot 3 or 4 times in the dialogue, because people are on their phones while they're watching, you know what I mean?
Oh, no.
And so then it's going to really start to infringe on how we're telling the story.
But then you look at Adolescence, it didn't do any of that.
It didn't do any of
He said Adolescence, by the way. I had to rewatch it one time to reference.
Yeah, so they're saying that Adolescence on Netflix is the exception to this rule. Affleck said, you know, it's great, it's dark, it's tragic, intense, and it's about this guy who finds out his kid is accused of murder. There are long shots of the back of their heads. They get in the car, nobody says anything. So it's really relying on the audience to pay closer attention, especially because of the style that they shot it. It's supposed to be one continuous shot.
So I remember when the show White Collar debuted on the USA Network. This sounds like an aside, but it's not. When that show debuted, they had an entire intro segment, and I think it was the first 5 to 8 minutes of the show. There's not a single word of dialogue, and the creator of the show, Jeff Easton, had to fight with the network to be like, trust me, this is going to work. It's setting up the character. No dialogue. Basically, the whole scene is the character of Neil breaking out of prison. And the point is, you're showing what he's doing. You're showing how smart he is. It's not him being like, I'm going to order this. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. He's just doing it, and you're watching it happen. But that was at a time in 2009 where, you know, people had a longer attention span. And if you were watching regular television, you were probably sit out to watch, and you weren't looking and doom scrolling on your phone because smartphones weren't a thing.
Yeah, the rule of thumb used to be show, don't tell.
Yes.
And that is outdated now because, unfortunately, we're all brain rot victims. And, you know, this does communicate to audiences that Netflix is essentially calling us all stupid. But, like,
I don't know if it's
if you're saying that
or it's that distracted.
We're distracted. I mean, being distracted makes you stupid. Yeah. It does actually change your brain chemistry to be so overstimulated all the time. They're calling the general public stupid, and unfortunately, they're not wrong. Like, this is actually the future.
The funny thing was, I might even do a video on it still because it was very fascinating to me. According to Nielsen, one of the most popular shows right now for Gen Z is The Rookie. And that makes no sense because it's a boomer procedural about cops. When you would be like, well, why would anyone from Gen Z want to watch that? Well, it's because they have a really, really good social media team that has done something similar to what Lionsgate is doing with a lot of their movies, where it's very popular for fan edits, you know, with the hyper stylized editing to their faces. There's some type of weird beat, you know, like lo-fi beat in the background, and it's telling this individual story in 45 seconds, oftentimes nothing to do with the plot. It has its own like beat drop as a guy delivers a throwaway line that meant nothing in the show, but it's a different type of visual storytelling. All that is ABC adapting to the needs of the next generation, not actually creating something that's necessarily better as a product, but it drew people in.
Well, that conversion rate from short form content to people actually pursuing the full project is kind of wild to think about.
Yeah, they made a point in the article to like grab people who were like, I found it on YouTube in shorts and I went and found the show on my own.
Yeah, and obviously TikTok is a huge part of that. And we already covered the fact that Lionsgate has employed a team of Gen Z video editors to use TikTok to promote their projects, even ones that came out well over a decade ago. But I wanted to mention this because it's symptomatic of the trend that Matt Damon is talking about. TikTok quietly launched a new app called Pine Drama to release what they call micro dramas. This is a new genre of TV. I guess it's not really TV because it's not on a television set, it's on your phone. And this category is picking up steam in the US. So I just looked up Pine Drama and I didn't really see much coverage or promotion of it, but it says, immerse yourself in short dramas without ads anytime. Find what fits your mood via the Discover tab or through endless vertical recommendations tailored to your taste. Enjoy smooth HD full screen viewing with clear sound for an uninterrupted drama experience. Switch episodes, adjust speed, clear the screen, or save favorites with a single tap. React and share thoughts in real time with fellow drama fans while watching. So you're talking about the micro episode in the comment section on this app, which essentially has the same user interface as TikTok.
I love one of my new favorite meme templates is like it's people pretending to be the vertical video actor showing up to award shows and everybody hates them.
The most popular microdrama series often include romance or the supernatural or both. Think sordid love affairs with vampires or werewolves. Okay, this is so going in a book talk direction already. Pine Drama's shows are no exception, with one series, Love at First Bite, garnering 18 million views. Its current top 3 trending shows each had over 100 million views, according to tallies displayed on the app. One prominent microdrama platform like DramaBox or Real Short, viewers can usually watch some episodes of a show for free before being asked to pay $20 a week or more to watch the rest.
Who the hell does a weekly model?
That's wild. That is insane. I don't know who is paying $20 a week. You already have to pay close to that or more for a monthly subscription to most of the major platforms. Pine Drama's business model is unclear. Right now, users can log into the app with their existing TikTok accounts and watch all episodes of microdramas like The Officer Fell for Me, The Return of the Divorced Heiress, and My Unwanted Billionaire Ex for free.
This
there are
feels
also
like
no
Hallmark could be making a fortune in this genre.
And then one of them I think is called Hit the Jackpot, My Broke Chef Husband is a Billionaire.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I have no idea what that means, and I don't want to find out. Hernan Lopez, founder of streaming consulting firm Owl & Co., said, what's interesting about this one is it's the first time they're launching it advertisement free, and it doesn't yet have a paywall. Pine Drama looks like an experiment and expects it to add monetization over time in the form of subscriptions. And he said it's a sign that vertical video is evolving. You're going to see more announcements this year from many other companies. So this is TikTok's, or really ByteDance's, foray into this new genre, which appeals to our shortened attention spans and accustoms
Disney.
us more to what is our speed. And it's because we're becoming dumber. That's literally why this is happening.
Disney opening up their platform to put AI content on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
They're advertising now how you can look, like Instagram is heavily trying to advertise now, like, hey, you can look at Instagram on your TV, right?
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't want to look at, like, it's already bad enough on my phone. I do not need to be looking at it on my TV.
Well, that's another thing they were referencing in the Rogan interview, that so many Netflix subscribers are already watching Netflix content on their smartphone. Hence why people like Ben Affleck or Matt Damon, who actually work with filmmakers, are kind of poking fun at them for caring about how their projects look, because they're thinking about, like, how is this going to look in IMAX, when in reality, people are going to watch it on this.
Yep.
They're going to be looking at something smaller than their face. And the stories matter less. And also the way that it looks matters less, because we're just accustomed to slop at this point.
Yeah,
The customer has spoken.
Again, as you guys know, I watch so much old television, and when I look at old network shows that were filmed on actual film back in the late 90s and early 2000s, you're just like, man, I actually feel bad for. It's like, remember when nighttime had shadows? That was crazy.
Yeah. Remember, incandescent light.
Yep.
Remember color
Drive.
grading. Like, color grading used to be a thing. It's not a thing anymore.
Look, I don't know if we're getting dumber, but it is true that a company like Netflix, they don't get to take the world as they want it. They have to take the world as it is, and they're like, look, this is our business model. Our business model is. That's why I did a video over the weekend, guys, which you can find on the channel, about them supposedly saying that they're going to commit to the 45-day window for Warner Brothers. And I said, yeah, I don't know if anybody actually buys that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I understand why they approach it with hesitancy, because it's never been their market to begin with. Those are concerns and hassles they've never needed to worry about, because they've got their own concerns and hassles, like whether an important part of the movie you're watching will come up at a time when you're changing your laundry over to the dryer. Like,
I guess the encouraging part of the sudden change from Netflix allowing the normal theatrical window, it shows you can actually bitch about something enough for them to change their minds.
I don't know if they were ever actually going to look. First of all, I don't know if it's true, and I don't know if I believe. Do I believe that they might start that way and then it shrinks over time? Absolutely. But I also don't know what that means for other forms of monetization, because they're skipping a step there. So people in the video that I made said, so 45 days on Netflix, or on in the theaters, and then straight to streaming. Well, you skip something there. Pay VOD is another way they make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Are they going to do that? Like, who knows whether they'll actually follow through on that, because that's another way to make revenue for your company. When people talk about the profit that Superman made this year, it's almost all through licensing and pay VOD after the fact, because it didn't make the money it needed to at the box office. The money that it made afterwards was licensing it out and then pay VOD and things like that, merchandise. So I don't know if I buy that, but it's I get what Netflix has to deal with, as their business model requires them to argue with people about whether, or to figure out whether people are going to want to sit still and watch a movie, and most of the time they're just not willing to do that.
No, we're all Coco Melon addicted 3-year-olds now.
That's exactly what it is.
Unfortunately.
All right, let's read some super chats. We've got more to get into.
Cleggy said, fans celebrating Kathleen Kennedy getting replaced is the Megamind meme of Titans saying, oh, I wouldn't say freed, more like under new management.
Well, they are under new management.
Yeah.
And Cleggy, haven't seen your name there in a while, so how's it going?
Good to see ya. Corey Anderson said, my wife and all of her friends love Life of a Showgirl and even went to the movie release for the making of the album or whatever that was. I thought that went to Disney Plus. Well, no, they did. You're right. They did a sort of theatrical release for that.
So the thing is like, if Olivia was like, will you go with me to a Taylor Swift concert? This might have to be like an Art of the Deal thing, where she suggests that, and then like I have to settle for like going to the theater premiere.
Is that what you would rather do?
I would rather do neither. But
I mean, I think the full concert experience would be actually more entertaining. It is more of a spectacle.
Yeah, but
to see it
I
in real life.
guarantee you it's longer.
Yes, by far.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
Definitely. Corey Anderson said, speaking of movies, Lord of the Rings trilogy was in the theaters over the weekend. Yep. That's a symptom of, first of all, where the box office is at in general, but also a symptom of it being January.
Yeah.
It's a dry time for new releases.
By the way, I was right when I said when they premiered the trailer for the new movie Mercy, the new Chris Pratt AI movie. I said this is the most January movie that I've ever seen in my entire life. Well, I was right. It's tracking to bomb at the box office. It's doing so poorly in pre-sales that it may not even reach double digits. As I said, the most January movie I've ever seen in my entire life. The funny thing is, I'm probably gonna like it. When I watch it, I'm probably gonna be like, this is awesome. But
so the whole point is just that, like, you're being interrogated in a criminal investigation by
like an AI, and then you have like an AI judge or something. I don't remember.
Or no, there's like an AI generated video of you committing a crime that you didn't commit. Is that the point? What's the poster say?
It says prove your innocence to an AI. Even the saying sounds like AI. Prove your innocence to an AI judge or face execution. You couldn't come up with something a little bit more clever than that?
That is so stupid. Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Wow. I'm surprised they got Chris Pratt to do that.
Chris Pratt is also one of those guys who he needs the facial hair. Even more than me sometimes.
Is he clean shaven in that? I can't tell.
He looks clean shaven-esque, yeah.
Okay. Corey Anderson said, Mary, is there something different about your hair? I don't think so. It's the same as it usually is. Nothing different about it. Pop Culture Junkie said, I'm going to agree with you, Mary. I think our general standards for movies have been dropping as fast as the anvil on the Warner Brothers Coyote. Yeah, I think that we are just more easily placated now. I think that our standards have, like, the bar is just, it's in the ninth circle of hell at this point, where even something that is just serviceable, and I'll give that to Zootopia 2, or I'll give that to K-pop Demon Hunters, people are going to call it a masterpiece, and it's going to be praised by the audience when it didn't really earn that much praise.
Yeah. All right. Let's hold up.
And I'm going to say again, because people accused me of not watching Zootopia 2. I did watch it. I gave it a fair shot. And it was just like, it probably felt longer than it actually was. Yeah. It was dreadfully boring. And I swear I'm not saying that just because I'm Unk. Like, maybe that's a cope. You might think I'm coping right now. But I think that at the time when I was watching animated movies for my generation, my parents enjoyed them just as much as I did, because they were written for an actual universal audience, and it was just better. Like my parents even enjoyed watching SpongeBob with me in the 2000s because it was intelligent and respected the audience. I think like children's entertainment now assumes that all kids are retarded. And it's probably a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point.
All right, let's hold off on the rest of the super chats. Let's come back after the fact. Let's move on.
Yeah, so Clavicular is popping off right now. He is the looks-maxing influencer who was recently interviewed by Michael Knowles. He talks to his audience about bone smashing and TRT and peptides and all of the extreme measures he has taken to maximize his attractiveness. But he is also an IRL streamer. So a recent stream that he did in collaboration with, I guess what people are calling the Manosphere Avengers, is attracting a lot of mixed reactions. You can see in this photo, it featured Clavicular with his group of buddies here, Justin Waller, then Sneeko, Tristan Tate, Myron Gaines, Nick Fuentes, and Andrew Tate, all of them together in this incredibly awkward group photo.
This is like the opposite. I said before the show, I said this is the opposite of the Avengers for the women that watch 911. This is the neglected the neglected boys of the women watching 911. If you are a lady, if you are a middle-aged woman watching the 911 Avengers and you're not taking care of your children, your son is going to end up like this. Just saying.
Or he's going to end up rather watching it on Kick.
Yes.
You know. And also, I don't know why this stands out to me, but the fact that Clavicular is holding on to this water bottle for the entirety of the stream was so funny to me. Like, I can just hear the crackling of the plastic. And I think it literally is just filled with water because he's so conscious of everything that goes into his body. He probably doesn't drink that much, but he goes to clubs all the time to get content. In the second clip, you can see Sneeko and Clavicular got 10 college baddies in a sprint and made it an aura farming moment.
Yes, we have to mute everything.
It was the most brain rot sentence I've ever read out loud. But here they are with the Huzz, and they're in this brightly lit, like this fluorescent lit party bus, blasting music, and they're basically the set pieces for the stream in the background. He's wearing sunglasses inside this bright party bus, and it just like doesn't come off like they're having a lot of fun.
Doesn't he have he has his suit jacket buttoned while sitting down? Isn't that a no-no?
Yeah, that's a fashion faux pas right there. And in this next clip, you can see Clavicular with his new girlfriend. She is not the same one who was verbally abusing him the other week. He has a new girlfriend now. And Justin Waller, this other manosphere influencer, is telling her off and trying to humble her
We got a
in the presence of the other men.
We got a $20 super chat here from Chief Corey Anderson. Says, have you heard about the Hugh Jackman movie coming out called Sheep Detectives? Hugh plays a shepherd that reads murder mysteries to his flock. Then he dies, and the sheep have to help solve the murder. The trailer looked funny. I was hoping that you were going to play that movie as a straight drama. That would be hilarious.
No, I have not heard of that. Yeah. That sounds insane. But let's watch this clip of Justin Waller putting this girl in her place.
All right, here we go.
I thought I was like at least an 8.
You're not an 8. You're not an 8.
Yeah.
You're a 37 and ask for validation. And you're sitting in a 10 flat.
That's kind of rude.
That's kind of rude. Justice. That's kind of rude.
Is it?
Clavicular's at least in that.
You are.
Don't fuck with my boy.
I thought I was like at least an 8.
Okay.
Damn, they really got her.
Put her in her place.
And you sent me this tweet talking about Clavicular. He is, of course, the youngest in the room. He's 19. And it says, bro is in a room with Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, Tristan Tate, Myron, etc. and is distracted by a random hoe. This is why controlling lust is important. So I guess what he ought to be doing is brainstorming with the bros.
Yeah, also, what is Luke Belmar
and monetary policy?
What is Luke Belmar doing? Why wasn't he there?
Where is Luke Belmar when you need him, right? Where is the brainstorming in this clip? So in another portion of the stream, they go out clubbing together. And this is where the controversy sets in. They are in this environment with the music blasting and everyone is drinking. And they end up requesting to play Kanye's banned song, which is HH. You've probably heard it by now. And somehow they convinced the DJ to play it. I have no idea why, but it was at this nightclub, which is called Vendome.
Yeah.
Vendome. And it then was shared around all over the timeline the next day. People called on this nightclub to officially denounce and then ban all of the streamers involved. And this organization called Stop Anti-Semitism, based in the US, tweeted about it, saying Vendome Miami not only permitted the entry of these modern day Nazis, Nick Fuentes, Myron Gaines, and Sneeko, but proceeded to play Heil Hitler upon their request. Sickening. And of course, the all of the anti-hate leagues and organizations got involved and were calling on the nightclub to take action. And it turned out, at least according to this tweet, that a Jewish Miami nightlife mogul named David Grutman is banning Clavicular from all Miami clubs just because he played HH in the club. He posted on his Instagram, this is his quote, "European elegance, is that what we call Nazi ideology infestation now?" And he tags the nightclub cowardly turned off comments. Can you even imagine the outrage if the roles were reversed and openly anti-Muslim bigotry took place in one of David Grutman venues? So he put them on blast, and Vendome ended up releasing an official statement saying, "We're aware of a video circulating online from one of our venues that includes content and imagery that are deeply offensive and unacceptable. We want to be unequivocally clear, Vendome and our hospitality group do not condone anti-Semitism, hate speech, or prejudice of any kind. These values are fundamentally opposed to who we are and the environments we strive to create. We are currently conducting an internal review to understand the circumstances surrounding how this requested song came to be played during a bottle parade, and we will take immediate action to hold the responsible parties accountable. Our ownership and leadership reflect a diverse group of partners, backgrounds, and faiths, including members of the Jewish community, and we are deeply disturbed by the harm caused by this incident and the circulation of this footage. As our review proceeds, we are evaluating additional safeguards and procedures to ensure our venues are not used as platforms for offensive or harmful behavior. We take this matter seriously and will continue to act thoughtfully and responsibly as we complete our review.
I wonder how many songs are played that involve talking about murder.
Yeah, well, Sneeko was quick to point out, I wonder why clubs don't issue apologies for music glorifying black-on-black violence. Yeah. And that is one valid critique of this statement, that, you know, in the first place, you could argue Ye wrote and released that song to juxtapose it with what you will normally hear in the rap genre, which is bitches, hoes, drugs, guns, violence, all of those things. All of that is deemed acceptable and not offensive and perfectly okay to play for people at a party, even though obviously it's, you know, it's destructive to our social fabric. But the second that he releases his song about Hitler, it's like, oh, now it's a different story.
Yeah.
So I understand why people are pointing that out, but I mean, are any of us really surprised that this happened? Like, I'm mostly just amused by all of the clips of them in the club, and everyone is trying really hard to seem like the one who's having the most fun, even though it's all a performance. Like, that's what streaming is. It's basically the Truman Show.
Yeah.
You're presenting a dramatized version of your life for an audience. None of it is actually for, you know, the people in the clip. And it was the funniest of all to watch Nick, like, trying to act like he isn't hating every moment of it because he doesn't drink and doesn't go to clubs. Like, this isn't what he normally does. This is like the lifestyle of all these other streamers. Howling Mutant tweeted, weirdly enough, Nick being awkward and clearly not wanting to be there makes him the only one who comes off decent. The rest of the guys are supposed to be red-pilled rebels, but they clearly desperately want to be involved in the douchiest aspects of club culture. And I also saw like a rundown of the events, watched part of the Clav stream, and none of these people there seem like they're having fun, unless fun counts as bullying women, which can only be described as picking low-hanging fruit. Nick is standing by awkwardly in the back with no attention from any of the females. Clavicular stands in the center, being constantly offered women like they're a drug, and all while clumsily smoking cigarettes in some cheap club that they could seemingly afford only a single table at, the same club that issued a public apology. Meanwhile, outside the club, Clav awkwardly tries to converse with the other characters there, but the only thing of substance he can talk about is juicing tips and tricks. Tate, a 40-year-old man, complains to Clav about his own life problems, despite Clav clearly being a shut-in kid who has never been outside his room. The whole time, Nick gets sidelined like the cuck of the group. He literally has to lean in frame near the end of the stream to not be left out. All in all, very sad and pathetic night out. I'd hate to imagine that's what these people do 24/7. Converse about nothing, learn nothing, scam everything. Sigma male grind set.
There you go.
And everybody in the stream was behaving as if they're the main character. Like,
well, technically,
they all
if
had
they've got their own stream going, they are all the main character of their own stream.
I think it was only Clav who was streaming for the night, but they were all trying to steal the spotlight from each other in this very effeminate way. And no one believes that they're actually having a good time or that there's any substance to their supposed friendships. Like, it's very much a clout farming endeavor going on here.
It's slow.
Yeah, it is. And it's also like, I don't even want to act like I'm so above, you know, people going to a nightclub and dancing. Like, I've been to Broadway. There are all of these nightclubs in Nashville. Like, I've been there, and it's like, I'm not going to be the one person standing in the corner like the Wojak meme being like, they have no idea that, like I'm not going to act like that's beneath me because I've literally been to those bars. But it's just strange when the people in this stream pretend to be thought leaders of a generation of young men, and they're encouraging their male audiences to like level up and dedicate themselves to self-improvement and edification and educating themselves. And then what they do on stream is the polar opposite of that. They're like surrounded by a bunch of stupid hoes who are like essentially groupies trying to get clout and money and drinks off of them. And they're pretending like they enjoy any of this. Like, that's why it comes off as so like embarrassing. Like, that's why it gives everyone a sense of secondhand embarrassment to watch this content. But I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you're the stream viewer and not the streamer.
Is this just the guys? I saw somebody in the chat mention like trashy dating shows. Is this just guys versions, like young men's version of reality TV, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like Real Housewives, but for Gen Z men, I guess, who don't have jobs. That's the audience for IRL streams, you know, because this is a visual medium where you have to be paying attention the whole time to what's going on. It's going for like 7-8 hours at a time, if not longer. And that's content that can only appeal to people who have nothing else going on in their lives and don't have jobs. Podcasts are for people who have jobs and lives outside of consuming content.
Yeah.
That's maybe again a cope on my part because we're podcasters.
I mean, I the funny thing
this
is
an employed genre of content.
When I look at stuff on YouTube, I judge its length by how much of my work commute it's going to cover for me.
Yeah.
Like when I watch, I was like, there's like a new James Romero video. He's a wrestling podcaster. It's like 35 minutes long. I'm like, oh, that's going to eat up like half my, like 3/4 of my commute. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. That's, I think, how most people consume content now. But there is a group of like actual basement dwellers that watch streamers and donate to them all day, every day.
Yeah.
And they're probably on EBT. And it's giving unemployed vibes.
All right.
Overall, though, can't say I'm surprised by the reaction of Clav getting banned from the Miami clubs. It's going to be terrible for his content, though. Like, what is he going to do? Now he can literally only stream in his house.
Go to the beach.
I guess that's an option. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
No Control said, Sweeney with a milk stash got milk. Easy. Yeah, I don't think that she would take that job, though.
No.
Like, if I had to guess, you know, and maybe they did reach out, if the Department of Agriculture offered Sweeney a paycheck to do a milk ad,
I mean,
I don't think she would do it.
That would have to be a very big paycheck. And she's got plenty of money.
Mm-hmm. Shane H. Wilder said, the kid's whole milk ad looks AI AF. I don't think it's AI, but like, I guess it could be. It does have that kind of hyper real look to it, but I would blame that more on the lack of a lighting concept. Robert Valera,
you look at the background, even on the Riley Gaines one. It's like, seriously, it's just gray. It's just gray. It's just the darkest. Like, it looks like the background they put, like, when you had your Life Touch photos for school. Like,
yeah.
It's like worse than that somehow. Like, hire the guy from Life Touch to do the ad.
Which, by the way, if you want another black pill, I don't know if this is true, but people say that these third-party companies hired to take school pictures have been selling our data, for facial recognition technology.
I have no doubt.
For decades at this point, and I was like, well, I guess it's too late now. Like, they already have my face in the database.
Yep.
Oh, well.
We got a Rumble rant from the local Wendigo. Says, if you can't drink milk, your bloodline is weak and not human.
Well, that's why a lot of people thought that it had a racist undertone as well, because, no, I'm not kidding. People think that the milk ads are racist and white supremacist.
Wait, why?
Because people from, people from below the equator are far more likely to be lactose intolerant. I'm not really sure why, but that is true. Okay. So white people are less likely to be lactose intolerant, and for some reason that makes milk a racist dog whistle.
Wait, is gluten racist then?
I'm not sure about gluten, actually.
Okay. Somebody do the research in that
one. Is celiac disease racial? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. We'll have to get back to you on that one. We'll put a pin in that. We'll circle back on that. Robert Delera said, get Sydney Sweeney to do the milk commercial. She is the go-to person. I think that ever since her denunciation of the American Eagle ad, it's not likely, folks. Like, I know that people are going to say, no, she wasn't denouncing the ad. She was denouncing, like, the people who misinterpreted it. But, I mean, it's the same result either way, which is that she was trying to compensate for all of the backlash. You can't do that. Like, that is just the last thing you're supposed to do when you're at the center of an outrage cycle. Is like try to equivocate or apologize or explain yourself. That never helps the situation, but her PR probably instructed her to do that. I think she's probably trying to create some distance between herself and the like right-wing online associations.
Yep.
Corey Anderson said, do these people know that the hosts don't write the jokes? Right? Women look better without clothes than men do. Calm down, ladies. It's a dumb joke. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure most of the celebrities that they feature on SNL have nothing to do with the jokes that they write. Unless it's like maybe a former SNL writer.
No,
like
I
Pete
don't think
Davidson.
so. Like, I'm guessing they have very little to do with that. They maybe a writer might have a say in collaboration, but it's not their job to do that. It's their job to deliver the lines.
Shane H. Wilder said, just landed with an hour of PCC left. What's the over-under that the plane is still taxiing at the end of the show?
Well, Shane, you'll have to let us know. It's 4:30 right now. Are you still taxiing?
I would bet my life.
I still feel like that happens more now than it ever did when I was young, where the plane lands on time, but I have to sit on the frickin' tarmac for an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Because all of the flights are delayed. Yeah. All of them. So the last flight that was supposed to be at that gate is still boarding when you landed and you're supposed to be there getting off of your plane. It's every single time at this point.
John Thomas in the chat is still talking about Sydney Sweeney. He says, no, it isn't. I don't know if he's talking about to us or to somebody else in the chat. He says, she unapologetically posed with the victims of the October 7th attack. Yes, that is true. But, you know, she did, I wouldn't call it walking back, but it was such a muddled statement that I actually don't think it's going to hurt her. Because I think that anybody could take that comment however they wanted to. So I think she'll continue to be somewhat of an avatar for the right.
I wouldn't
maybe not to the extent that she was before, but they do that all the time. Is, you know, anytime somebody says something not stupid one time, suddenly they become some type of mascot.
I wouldn't characterize the photo that she took with the freed hostages as a right-wing
Neither
message.
did I. No. I
there
it felt like
so many people on the right who didn't like that.
I didn't even see anybody else talking about it but us. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see anybody else really talking about it.
I don't know. I guess it didn't take off the way that we thought it would. But I think she just did that at the behest of Scooter. Corey Anderson said, that's why you're short, Brett. Listen to your dad. Because you didn't drink enough milk
I'm
growing
like
up.
the same height as my dad and maybe an inch shorter than my brother. So no, I don't think so.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Corey Anderson, or no, this is from Sliced Bread. I hate most modern movies, but The Rip on Netflix was terrific. It's very simple, not a lot of crazy special effects, just a clever story. Go watch it.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix right now. That's the sad fact of the matter, and I didn't want to get it via ad-free Tubi. So
why not? It's right there.
I'll get around to watching it eventually, I'm sure.
Well-Spoken Token said, this is such a sad but real issue. Another term I've heard by TV studios is making sure that the series you're watching is second screen worthy. We are truly living in the worst era of art.
No. We're living in the worst era of corporate art. It could be the great, you know, like, that's the problem I have with, not what you said specifically, Jonathan, but like, in general, when the people that hate these companies but all want to work for them talk about it, they're complaining, and I'm like, well, then go do it yourself, right? They're like, oh, like the studios are so anti-creator now. I'm like, okay, so go do your own, fund it yourself.
I know this isn't the same medium, but have you noticed that every time you walk around any sort of like quaint downtown area, it's not just all of those businesses that are owned by, you know, housewives with breadwinner husbands that sell like candles and stuff. It's also galleries. It's art galleries.
Yep.
And when you go in there, I mean, that is certainly not corporate art. That is not corporate backed art. It's still terrible. It's awful. Like,
I mean,
even that, like I would say art across the board, no matter how much
the stuff at those stores,
money is behind it.
The stuff at those stores, though, is probably at the behest of feminism. Most of the art there is feminist backed, meaning that it's kitschy sayings and feminist themes, and that just doesn't interest you or I. That's never like I meant to. I at one point I found that like wall of stickers that I meant to send you of all the stickers, and then I lost it again. But
damn,
you know, that's what it is. That's what those businesses are. Those businesses serve a very important societal function. They keep a town looking kept and well put together, even though they don't make any money.
They add to the ambiance, I guess.
Correct.
John Thomas said, I just want to know y'all's view on the Denver Broncos / Uma Musami, I don't know if I said that correctly, crossover, because apparently cosplayers are attending games and fans are welcoming them.
I did not know that. I don't know anything about that, but it sounds honestly kind of interesting. Crossover between genres.
I also know less than nothing about that, so I would appreciate an explainer.
I found the stickers. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you. You can laugh. You can look at it after the show. You'll laugh.
On Slack?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you in Slack. It's really funny.
I want to see this now.
Yeah. Hold on.
Mad Stork 91 said, do you believe that incidents in life define us? Are we an amorphous amalgamation of events, or do our actions and responses to events define us?
I believe that your actions in response to events define you.
Especially what you do or say when you're not going to get praised for it.
Like
things you do in private that especially are not going to be used for social media clout.
What was the first part of it again? The first part of it was like the things that happen to you define you? Is that the first part of it?
Incidents in life define us.
No, it's an act of defeatism to allow the incidents in your life to define who you are.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of people who define themselves by their trauma.
I put the stickers up there on the screen so everybody can see them.
Okay. So we've got a pride sticker.
Life is short, be a hoe.
Life is short, be a hoe.
Thanks.
Oh, here's one. Thanks, it's the trauma.
I run on Adderall and Charlie XCX. I saw this and I was just like, the worst woman you know owns these stickers.
Beyonce and Taylor Swift, and it says, who run the world?
I mean, the Taylor Swift, might be right.
This is a weirdly specific one. Your worth has nothing to do with your diagnosis. Okay. I don't have enough serotonin for this shit.
Yep.
In my Bridgerton era.
Also in my villain era.
People need to start appreciating the effort I put into not being a serial killer.
Yep. Slut for Taco Bell, as well as pickle slut. Not even kidding you. And fries before guys. Fries before guys might be the fat chick version of that dump him sweater we saw at Target.
Yeah. Same target audience.
I'm a hoe for Trader Joe's.
You gotta love the registered nurse one.
They're called healthcare heroes. People. They're called healthcare heroes.
I'm a hoe for Trader Joe's. No, do no harm, but take no shit. Okay.
Don't text him back, ho. Don't text him back, ho. Don't text him back, ho.
In my tired mom era, there's a one of Chapel Roan here, dressed as the Statue of Liberty. Okay. That's enough. Yeah.
That's all
we
I'm
know.
saying.
We know exactly the type of person who's buying that shit.
And you know exactly the store where I saw the type of store where I saw those. I was like, can we leave, please? I need to get out.
They're everywhere. Okay. Corey Anderson, I think we read that one earlier. Brian Bledsoe said, not only do I drink milk normally with cereal, but I drink chocolate milk too. Now give me my government check and a pacifier. Look, there's nothing wrong with drinking milk, but I do think it's weird. I know this guy, a friend of mine, who he actually he drinks an insane amount of milk straight out of the gallon. Like, just as a normal beverage, like it's water or something.
I mean, that's that back in the days, that would have been the symbol of a disrespectful roommate or a husband in a movie where he drinks. He's sweaty. He's gross. He drinks the milk straight from the gallon and puts it right back in the fridge.
Yeah, I guess that is bad manners.
There's a 20.
It's just your milk.
There's a 20 there.
From Mad Stork, I'm asking this preamble question because later this evening I'm going to try to ask Fuentes, if you build 1,000 bridges but suck one sea, what are you? I don't really understand what that question means.
Deep thoughts.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck. Is that on the call-in show?
Should be
I don't know if you're going to make it through the queue with that one, but good luck. Alejandro Reyes said, in response to your poll, milk is for chumps. Cheese, on the other hand. Well, cheese, yeah, that's obviously superior to milk. Definitely. Even though, it's mold, you just try not to think about that. Corey Anderson said there should be a bell when a $20 super chat comes
I know,
in.
my friend. I read the 20. I'm sorry. I apologize. Mary, it came through while you were introducing the topic. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, okay. Robert Delara said there are more guys mentioned in that clavicular group than the Wu-Tang Clan. It was a lot. Yeah. Brian Bledsoe said, I must be the only psycho that pauses a show if I need to leave the room or if something is interrupting what I'm watching.
I do, unless it's something I've seen before. So me and Olivia actually we rewatched Person of Interest and we actually finished it this time. Because basically I started it with her back probably 6 months ago, maybe even longer. And we would just kind of incrementally come back to it from time to time. I have a really hard time getting through season 4 of that show, though it wasn't as bad as I remember it being. There was some gems in there, but we finally finished the show, and you can always tell whether I'm invested by whether I pause a show I've rewatched before or not. Otherwise, I'll just let it run, as not to disrupt her viewing experience while I go get something from the kitchen. But if I actually want to watch it, I will pause it. Otherwise, I just let it run.
I am a brain rotted individual. What I do instead of doom scrolling while watching a movie is I go on Pinterest while I'm playing a podcast on my phone. I need multiple streams of stimulant at once, and then I'm also drinking coffee. I'm also consuming nicotine. That's 4 sources of entertainment all at once.
Yeah.
So I am a brain rot victim.
And the sad thing is I can physically tell a difference in how I feel. If I sit down and watch the show and put my phone away, I actively feel better, physically better than I do when I sit there and mindlessly scroll Instagram or X while the show is on in the background. Make no mention of whether I'm actually taking in the content that I'm watching at that time. I feel better when I'm watching it without the secondary source of, sensory overload.
I went to a restaurant yesterday, and while I was waiting for a table, I was reading this poster on the wall where they have the rules, and one of the rules was that you are not allowed to use your cell phone while seated at your table at this restaurant.
And I was a very kitschy millennial thing to do.
I mean, no, it sounds more like a boomer thing. If anything, it's you and that damn phone. And I was I appreciate the
boomer
message.
wants to take your money no matter what you do with your phone.
I appreciate the message that they want people to have conversations while they're eating, and that's like a communal experience. But also, is there really any way to enforce that?
And the poor waiter who has to be like, you can't do that.
Also, it was like a Southern family style restaurant. I don't even know what this is because it was my first time in such an environment, but they sit you down with strangers and you pass around servings like from the same bowl. Like everyone passes around a bowl of like the mashed potatoes or the fried chicken and the mac and cheese, and everyone is touching this bowl and using the same utensil.
Okay.
And I couldn't cope with that. Like, I'm not even a hypochondriac or some kind of like germ freak, but that did kind of freak me out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Not for me. Corey Anderson said being rude to women for internet clout is gay and uncouth. However, she is a club girl, so. Well, yeah, but it's like they said, it's low-hanging fruit.
Then you're just putting then it's not about the morality of what you're saying or your or your like what you believe. Then it's based on whether she fits your narrative as to what a good woman is. You should either be polite to all of them because they're women, or it's just something with a bunch of rules in place. I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, if they're such dumb, worthless hoes, why are you hanging out with them? Why are they on a party bus with you? Why are they at your table at the club? Why are you buying them drinks?
Yep.
Right? Like, you clearly want something from them. You want validation from them. So you're kind of on the same level.
Lots of anti-women, anti-marriage property. The one that's making the rounds again right now is the picture of Pierce Brosnan with his wife 20 years apart. Because she looks so much different because she got so much bigger than him. And it's like, this is your daily reminder not to get married. And most of the people that are not internet brained are like, if they've been happy for 20 years, we should all be so lucky.
Yeah, I think Pierce Brosnan is doing just fine.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, I agree with you, Mary. My dad used to love watching cartoons with me because while for kids, they had some level of intelligence that adults could enjoy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that era is over. I don't understand how parents these days can tolerate listening to, like, even just as background noise in the other room, the soundtrack to Coco Melon, or the just grating, like, nails on a chalkboard tone of Miss Rachel's voice. Mm-hmm. How do you tolerate that? I can't imagine. Corey Anderson said, notice it is wrong to say Heil Hitler, but dropping the N-bomb every other word in a song is okay. All of it is wrong, or none of it is wrong. See, this reminds me of that content cop that iDubbbz made about Tana Mojo back in the day. That was his big thesis for the video, was either all of it is okay or none of it is okay. And that was kind of revolutionary for the time, that message. And then I guess iDubbbz decided to turn heel and become a woke lib. Cold Leftovers said, ironically, Fuentes has ranted about how gay it is to focus on women so much. Nothing proves that more than his friend Clav, gayest straight guy ever. Well, they clearly were like looking for attention from all of those hoes at the club. Like, that is embarrassing. No Control said, basement dwellers that donate to streams, I feel personally attacked. Well, I think it's different when your entire life revolves around watching streams, especially the genre that we're talking about.
Yeah,
which
Mary
is,
people were saying like that's what somebody said to you in the chat. They said that's what you do, Mary. Said you were talking specifically about IRL streamers.
Yeah, that's a totally different game. Like, they're streaming the entire day and they have people watching the entire time because they have nothing else going on. And it's different than what we do here because you can listen to this. A lot of the crisis actors are listening to this instead of watching it while they do other things. Like, that's what we like about this show, is when you guys tell us that you're, going about your daily tasks while listening in on our conversation. No Control said, Shane H. Wilder said, true story, I did not buy my senior class photos. They were so expensive that I just photoshopped out the proof watermark. Good for you. That's some ingenuity right there.
Good going.
I wouldn't have been able to do that. But yeah, now your face is being used to train AI. So hope you're happy. Mad Stork I think that was the 20 from earlier.
Yeah, I got that one.
Not That John Stewart said, you guys are on my second screen while I play computer games.
Yeah, I posted a picture once of like my brain back before I moved out this way. It was like I had the internet on one screen, I had video games on this screen, I had a movie on this screen, and then I had something else on another screen. And that was my brain at the time. Was that
a wake up call for you?
Yeah, it was like 5 years ago, and I'm like, if you can't even like exist without having YouTube open on one page, having a TV show open on another page, having a video game that you're playing, and then another screen with something else on it, like life is rough, man.
Yeah, we need to collectively prioritize more silence and calm.
And that was before like short form content is what it is now. Like my brain was already primed for short form content before it even took hold culturally.
Mm-hmm. We need to live lo-fi. Corey Anderson said, Mary, it means a fellatiator, a man that is, will always be a fellatiator regardless of what he ever do. Like the skateboard says, don't be gay. I still don't understand.
It was in reference to the bridge.
Right, but I know it's about that question, but I still don't understand the point. Do you, Brett?
No.
Am I missing something?
No.
Okay. Shane H. Wilder said,
I get the point, but I don't get why it's relevant. I guess is it a commentary on Nick? What is it? I don't get it.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Shane H. Wilder said it took 45 minutes, but we are done taxiing. Still got to get to baggage claim, get the rental car, then out to the Charlestown Holiday Inn.
Seriously,
bro,
45
don't dox
minutes?
yourself.
Yeah.
Don't dox yourself like that, okay? Just be careful with that. But 45 minutes is crazy work.
Yep.
And it's just always like this now. Corey Anderson said, to get laid, Mary, this is what they want. That's it. Okay. What does that have to do with the question that the other person asked or wants to ask? I don't understand.
Oh no, they were referring to wait, which one were you just reading? The one to get laid
from Corey.
He was talking about the super chat that was like, why would they give attention to the women?
Well, yeah, but like theoretically, some of them are not in it to get laid. Like at the very least, this is what people are pointing out.
It's like it's part of the image. It's part of the package of what they're supposed to be selling you.
Like that's what it is. It's the reason why it is kind of gay is that you're performing for like the other dudes more than you're even interested in the women. Like that's kind of gay. Brian Bledsoe said, yeah, I'm not using a glass or cup. I'm drinking milk straight from the container, not like anybody else is drinking it. LOL.
I guess if it's your home, and there's nobody else there, you don't have to worry about being disrespectful to anybody else.
Do what thou wilt. Yep. Yes. Marco said, I'm listening while digging. You're digging?
What are you digging? That's the question.
What are you trying to build a doomsday bunker? What's going on? No Control said, I usually watch you on my second screen while working. Thanks to civil rights, I'm watching you while playing computer golf today. Computer golf?
It is Martin Luther King Day.
Is it?
Yes.
Did you have any interesting dreams last night?
I had no interesting dreams last night. I never remember my dreams.
All right. Do we have any Rumble rants?
We are caught up over on Rumble. I'm keeping an eye over there.
All right.
And then
I think we're all caught up then.
I think I just saw one more here. Yeah, there's one more there from Chief Corey Anderson. It might not have come through yet. He was answering. Yeah, it should have just come through right now.
Not seeing it.
Not seeing it over there? Or did that repeat?
Oh.
Yeah.
Corey Anderson, I believe the answer he's asking for is the guy a bridge builder or a fellatiator? The answer is he is gay.
Okay.
I think you really think that any of that makes sense, but I promise you it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
The Destroyer to All Trolls says, I wish I was able to do lucid dreaming. I remember writing a book report in school on lucid dreaming when I was very, very young.
Have you had lucid dreams before?
No, but I'd love to be able to as well.
I have, but I actually don't remember any of them. I think that I just like try to build a mansion for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, last night I had an insane airport dream where I guess like the whole airport got infested with insects.
Gross.
And it was like full on pandemonium. Like everyone in the airport was running around screaming. And they were like flies and like bees and spiders and like specifically dragonflies everywhere.
Do you remember your dreams regularly?
Open my eyes. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's probably a sign that I don't sleep very soundly, but
probably.
Yeah. And then I decided, okay, I'm gonna hide from all of these insects in the bathroom. So I ran over to the bathroom, and this was a rare occasion where you actually run in the dream and you don't get stuck. And then while I'm in front of the door, this dude, like, he's trying to go in the women's restroom. He's like a dude in a dress trying to go into the women's restroom. And I'm like, even in all of this chaos, I'm telling him like, bro, you cannot go in the women's restroom. You are a man in a dress. And I start in this whole thing with him, and we get into like a shoving match. In real life, he would win. I know that. But yeah, that was, I think, the extent of what I remember from it.
Okay. I never remember
Really
my dreams. The only, like, anytime I have a dream that I can vaguely remember, it's usually a sign that I haven't slept well, oddly enough.
I don't know what this says about me, but I get in fights in my dreams almost all the time. Like screaming matches, fist fights. I'm constantly.
Is it with people that are in like are actually part of your life, or is it with random people like strangers?
Both, and it depends on the night. I have no idea why.
Okay.
I think I'm just like have a lot of pent up aggression.
Okay.
Brian Bledsoe said, simply put, I'm like Stone Cold in the grocery store versus Booker T.
Yeah, Stone Cold. Yeah, maybe I'll play that skit for you. Where it's a meme now that shows Stone Cold end up with the milk all over him, and he attacks Booker T. It's amazing.
No Control said, men go to clubs to meet women, otherwise it's gay. Guys hanging out just to be with the bros will go fishing or golfing or something. Well, what about like on a bachelor party or something? You know, what if you're a bachelor party and you want to go somewhere and like drink and play darts?
I mean, I'm guessing that's an exception because it's an event, not just a general everyday weekend thing.
By the way, random question. I've never gone go-karting, but is it against the rules to drive drunk in a go-kart? Someone with experience, let me know.
I'm guessing it is.
But that seems like some really annoying rule that they would try to enforce. I don't know. Brian Bledsoe said, had a dream Rihanna was working at a Next Subway.
So like the restaurant Subway?
Were you asking her for more lettuce or something? Shane H. Wilder said, I'll be okay. I'm not that interesting. What? Oh, don't
dox yourself.
Don't tell random people online where you are. It's not safe. It's not smart. Brian Bledsoe said NYC autocorrect. Oh, she was working in the actual New York City subway. Okay.
Oh, not like the restaurant subway.
Got it. Corey Anderson said, I make super chats, then that can or may do make reasonably. Okay, I have no idea what that means. And then Cold Leftovers said, it's my birthday. Wish me happy birthday, please, and thanks. Happy birthday, Cold Leftovers. I hope someone microwaves you.
Have a good one.
Christina Lee said, I raised my son on Adventure Time, I Heart Lucy. Oh, I Love Lucy. Kipper the Dog, and Ghibli animations. He's 18 now and an old soul. That is an incredible list. I did grow up with Adventure Time. I think also I Love Lucy, at least a little bit of it. I loved Kipper. People don't know about that one because it's British, but really good. And then I never got into Studio Ghibli. That wasn't really part of my childhood, but good on you. It was a really good list.
Yeah. We got one more here from Not That John Stewart. Says, BRB going to go stalk Shane. Don't go do that. That would be a bad idea.
Please don't stalk anyone.
And we've
I
got
I don't want this to end up being played in court.
Yeah. And we've got a 20 here from Pop Culture Junkie. Says, normally I watch you on a laser projector with 4 other live feeds. PCC is full screen since market is closed. You're both much better looking when you're life-sized. However, Mary, the size of your tumbler is scary. I bet on a full-size projected monitor that tumbler looks like a murder weapon.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably knock someone out with this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when it's full.
I think my biggest pet peeve in movies and television is like when somebody gets knocked out with like a brick and then like they're not bleeding or they don't even get knocked out or something like that, or they break something over their head and that nothing happens. Like they get up and start fighting again. I'm like, that's not how that works.
I always thought it was stupid how people on like shows or movies get punched and with one punch they're knocked out.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Or when they knock down a door effortlessly, like all they do is just kind of like shove it lightly and the door just falls.
No, the worst is lockpicking. Fake bad lockpicking in television shows is one of the worst things in the entire world. It never looks realistic when they do it.
I wonder if you can actually like shoot at a lock and it's just like blown smithereens.
Well, they do that with shotguns on the hinges of the doors. That's a real thing.
Yeah, I bet that works.
Side story, like side quest for me one day is I would like to. Does anybody know somebody who would teach me, who would let me be an apprentice to a locksmith? Because I would love to learn how to be a locksmith.
I think that would be an interesting side hustle.
Yes.
I bet they make a lot of money.
Yeah,
actually. Shane H. Wilder said, "It is against the rules to go-kart drunk. I can neither confirm nor deny if I tried it." Well, not if they, if they're breathalyzing you. Like, I guess there's no way to get around it. But, like, if you're good at being incognito drunk, I bet you could get away with it. It was just, like, a little bit. There's just 1 or 2 drinks. Not that I'm planning on doing that.
Wink, wink,
for legal
nudge,
reasons.
nudge. Yes, of course.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
All right. What is this? Defeater Eater in the chat says, I'm a locksmith. You should teach me your ways, my friend. All right, is that all of them? I believe that we got all of them.
I think so.
All right, well, guys, then, before we go, would you guys all please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Remember that this week we are live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We will be off Thursday and Friday because I will be out of town. And then we will be back to our regularly scheduled program the next week, Merry Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we will have Colonel Kurtz on the show on Tuesday. And we will have, hopefully, Alex and Brandon. Brandon already said yes. I'm hoping that Alex will join us as well on Thursday. And remember, Mary is Monday and Tuesday this week, and Colonel Kurtz will be with us on Wednesday, which I am very much looking forward to. So make sure you stay tuned, guys. This week will be a lot of fun. Mary, where can they find you?
You guys can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And help me get TikTok famous. That is also Mary Archived. I'll see you tomorrow.
Now I'm thinking about all of the characters who one-shot somebody with a punch in movies, but also when they like give them a sleeper hold and they're out for like 30 minutes. That's the other worst.
Yeah,
where they don't actually regain consciousness. All right, guys, if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here normally 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. Remember, we will be live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. If you want to listen to the audio version of this podcast, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch this show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thank you!
Thank you!
Scared the shit out of me!
Is that number 3?
Yes!
Just a third for good measure.
I feel so bad for anybody that's upstairs listening without headphones on because that scared the shit out of me, and I got the headphones on to like block the sound.
I don't feel bad at all.
All right.
I feel nothing.
Guys, if you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook. Hey! We're getting a free one, apparently?
That happens sometimes.
It's doing the reset thing again. Amazon, if you want to follow us on social media, Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisispod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see y'all then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.